Hey everyone. So I am super excited because you know that typically, whenever we have our chats, I love to bring people into the studio and sit down and do all this. But get this, some people are too fancy and too hard to get time on their calendar. Like they're just too good. And one of those people is Selena Soo. You know her name, and if you don't know her name, you know her work. She has worked with everyone in this space. She is one of the go-to connectors and knows everybody. So for us to be able to get into her brain is like a rare opportunity. I mean, if you aren't in one of her programs or know her or go to one of her events, you just like you can't, right? So I am beyond excited because I've been friends with Selena for years now, and I've seen her support people, create people's careers, and also do this for herself. I mean, it's really amazing, but it's how she has done it. And she's written a new book called Rich Relationships, and this book comes out on May 13th. By the time you're listening to this, you can get it now on Amazon. And I want us to talk about what's in this book. And so I brought Selena in because when I tell you relationships are everything, and there's no one who understands relationships better than Selena. So turn this one up, earmark it, save it, share it with a friend, because this chat will make you coins. Selena, thank you so much for being here today.
Hello, Nicole. I am so excited to be here.
I am super grateful because I know how busy you are. If you are not serving somebody who is on Oprah or on, some big TV show or whatever, you are building your own business. So I'm super appreciative that you're taking the time out to share your knowledge with me and all my friends.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you. So, I already kind of dropped that you've got this is how excited I am. I already kind of dropped that you have a book coming out.
Yes.
I know I'm supposed to lead into it, but like this, I don't think I've been this excited about a book since
Oh,
Jen's book, which was a
yes.
mutual friend of ours, Jen Kem, Unicorn Team. So that said, your book coming out is called Rich Relationships. Now, I just want to dive into it right out of the gate. We met years ago. I want to say probably it's over 5 years ago, probably like 6, 7 years ago in Vegas. That was the first time I met you in person.
Yes, I think that was 2018 or
Oh my God.
2017. It was a long time
It was
ago.
a long time ago, which is bananas
Yeah.
because it doesn't feel that long, but it has been. And you basically were curating rooms. And that is a huge
Yes.
part of what you do is bringing the right people together and knowing how to build that relationship. I'm going to ask you a really transparent question. Why was that even important to you? Like to get people into a room? Like, why did you even start doing that? Because we
Yeah,
didn't have to pay anything. We didn't have to do anything. You were just like,
I
I want you to
know.
meet someone. Come.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I really believe that when it comes to building rich relationships, don't wait for opportunities, create opportunities, and
Mm,
be really intentional about who are the kinds of people that you want to connect with, right? So that involves understanding your personal values, involves understanding your goals, getting clear on really who is like-minded, where is that abundant, win-win, expansive energy, who would you genuinely want to become friends with?
mhm.
And so at the time, I had a program called Impacting Millions, which was really helping other experts reach more people and change the world. And I wanted people to be aware of the work that I was doing. I wanted to build my, friend and colleague network. There might be a segment of those people that might want to get involved and spread the word. And
Mhm.
so I thought about, well, who are the people that I want to intentionally build relationships? And how about I bring them all together? And so I hosted this event in Vegas, and I knew that, entrepreneurs like yourself, they're so busy. They're not going to have time
Yeah.
to go through my program. But if we spend a day together and I share my training high level, I bring in people from the media, exciting speakers, we can connect, we can have dinner and have a good time together, then we're going to really build those lifelong relationships. And one of the things that's so funny is I know that you and Jen are really good friends.
Mhm.
And she mentioned to me, I met Nicole at your event. I'm like, wait, you
Yeah.
met her at my event?
Yeah.
And so there have been lifelong friendships that have been formed
Mhm.
from that. But, that's one example. But even before that, I was doing these influencer dinners in New York City where I would invite interesting people from the media and entrepreneurs that I knew because my favorite thing to do is connect people. I feel like I can see the dots between, people, magic, opportunity. And
Mhm.
I really feel that media is one type of rich relationship. And I know someone who is so special, has got an important message, and their story can heal people, save lives, transform
Mhm.
people. Like, I just want to be that person that helps get them out there. And I felt like the easiest and fastest way was to connect them to the media and let them build their relationships and let the magic happen. So it's been something that I've been doing consistently for the past 13 years.
Wow.
And you just build so much goodwill, and good things come back to you. I believe in
Yes.
really showing up as a rich giver, someone that intentionally pours into people that you feel genuinely excited about. And it's not about, I do something for someone so that they do something for me. It's rather,
Right.
if it's your lifestyle to be generous and kind, that all that good energy is going to come back into your own life in some way or another.
Yes, yes. Oh, I love that. I love that. So, I mean, so many amazing points that you brought up here. One, being a rich giver. It's something that I talk about all the time. Like, if you can do any type of work, service related, getting connected with people, helping people, but you're doing it from a place where you really love what you're doing and you authentically want to serve and help them, like it all comes back one way or another, whether it is through payment, because you've done great work, or through relationships, that's really transparent. Now, I want to keep it very, very real. A lot of what you just talked about sounds like the work of someone who is a super extrovert with a ton of free time, who loves people so much that they're just like, I cannot wait to throw parties all the time. But I can tell you, okay, Selena, it, as someone who is an extrovert, sounds nightmarish to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, you want to get all these people in one room who are entrepreneurs, right? Big
Yeah.
energy, big egos, right? Big goals. I mean, I'm going to spoil it and let everyone know, like, Selena's an introvert.
Oh yeah, hardcore.
Well, so like, I got to know, especially for my daughters, my whole family, I'm filled with introverts, right? How is it possible that you built a network with people when introverts by nature recharge, right? By not being in massive social situations, right? They're not scared of people, but like, it's not something you're always seeking out. How on earth did you make this a business for yourself?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it is really about the excitement around the people and the message and the
Mhm.
impact. Because if I were to be thrown into an event with a bunch of strangers, I would be the wallflower in the corner talking to one person.
Right.
And as an introvert, even the way that we process, like, we spend more time thinking. And so if we're in a group conversation, by the time we thought of what to say, the conversation has moved on to the next topic.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
so that's just the way it is. So I find that as an introvert, it's actually easier to be the leader and think about, this is the kind of event I want to curate. These are the kinds of people I want to bring together. You're naturally, in a way, a little bit of the center of attention since you are the event organizer. But I
Mhm.
think this is all about really figuring out what suits your personality and interests. For some people, maybe it's you're organizing a hike with other friends, or a Sunday
Mhm.
potluck, or you're watching the Oscars together, or you're doing a self-care Saturday, right? These events don't have to be with 20 people or 50 people. It could be you and three other people, whatever
Mhm.
it is. But, for a lot of us, we do have to manage our time and energy, especially if we're introverts. And I
Mhm.
do think that there is a lot of value in meeting with people one-on-one. But over time, as you start to have all these amazing connections, you don't have time over the course of 3 months to reconnect one-on-one with 50 people. Like, it's just
Right.
impossible. But you could organize one or two events and bring them all together, and then you're getting to spend time with them. But then you're also creating even more value because they're solidifying their relationship with you by showing up, by being a part of your world, but you're also connecting them to other people. And you get
Right. No,
magic happening.
this makes so much sense. And what I love this call out that you just had of, in our brains, we hear events and we think massive. You know what I mean? We think like, oh my gosh, energetically, I'm going to have to like facilitate interacting with 100 people. But I love this idea that, or even business related, like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah.
it's got, but a rich relationship that pours into you one way or another can be a hike with 3 people.
Yes.
One thing that I've learned in like living in LA, is that everyone out here is somebody one way or another. Everyone's 1 degree removed from the person who can give you your next big opportunity. So there really is something to be said for, you know, creating relationships that one, align with your values and don't compromise, right? But also making sure to make time to check in with people to see how they're doing, to, and the easiest way to do that as a mom, who's super busy is to say, hey, do you want to meet me and like go shopping real quick? Do you want to go and take our
Right.
kids to the park or, go now, does that count as part of your sort of relationship? Because you have like a process. It's like your sixth circle of
Circle of the
connectivity. Yeah.
connection.
Can you talk to me about that? What does that fall into if I'm like, hey, let's meet and walk the dogs? Where does that fit?
Yeah, well, that would be more about nurturing the relationship. And I
Mhm.
think it's such a great idea. It's the bring a friend technique. So you're already doing something, just have someone tag along. Want to join me for a Pilates class? Want to join me for lunch? Want to come to the mall with me? So, absolutely. And, when you're thinking about which relationships to pour into, which to
Mhm.
nurture, that's really where the six circles of connection come in handy. And so I would say this is actually my number one favorite framework in the book. It's what I use all the time in my everyday life. And
Wow.
so let me break it down. So basically, when you think of relationships, they all fall into one of these six circles. We're going to start with circle number one. So this is your innermost circle. So
Mhm.
if someone is in circle one, these are people that are doing life with you. They're on the pulse of what is happening day by day or week by week or month by month, right? If someone's like, how's Nicole doing? They'll have something to say. They know what's
Mhm.
happening in your life.
Mhm.
There's someone where they're there with you for the highs, but they're also there for the lows. And they see all sides of you, including the messy sides. And you know that for sure you are their priority. If you're like, you text them and you're like, hey, I need you. Can you talk tonight? Of course, right? There are people
Mhm.
that are doing life with you. Now, then there's circle, and actually, I should mention that in circle one, there's typically 1 to 5 people. There's not very many. For
Mm.
some people, there might be zero people. There might be nobody that they're that close to. But these relationships could look like a life partner, maybe a very best friend, a
Mhm.
business partner. It could be a longtime therapist that you've worked with for
Mhm.
several years, and every week they know what's going on and they're just like on the pulse of, what's happening in your transformation. So that's
Mhm.
circle one. And then there's circle two. So these are your treasured connections. So these tend to be close friends and people that you interact regularly. In some cases, it might be a team member. And so you're not going to necessarily share everything with them, but
Right.
these are priority relationships. When you need help, a circle two connection is someone that feels that it is a pleasure and a priority to show up and be there for you, and you feel very open with them. You can be transparent. You feel very safe with your circle of
Right.
connections.
Yeah, I love that you named this one treasured, meaning
Yeah,
like, because I think it does indicate that it has value to you, even if it isn't an innermost relationship. So that's really
exactly.
good. Hmm.
Right. So precious, so treasured. So that's circle
Hmm.
two. So that's usually about a dozen. For some people, it might be a bit more, but it's a
Hmm.
smaller handful.
Hmm.
Then there's circle three. So this is your active network, and this is where most of your rich relationships go. If someone's in circle three, they're the kind of person where you're like, oh yeah, I want to have you at the party. There's someone that if they needed to spend a night in your place, you'd be comfortable letting them into
Hmm.
your home. You feel comfortable maybe even sharing sensitive information, knowing that they're someone of high integrity and they know how to keep things confidential. There's someone that you would feel comfortable referring business to or recommending or introducing to a friend. If someone's in your active network, they should be someone that you trust and that there's values alignment. And these are people that do want to show up and support you, but it's not necessarily a 100% guarantee. You wouldn't necessarily be top priority for every single person in your active network, but they
That's
do
good.
sincerely care about you and would like to show up for you if they can. Now, the next circle is circle four. So these are your distant connections. This is a really important one. And so there's a
Really?
couple, yeah, very, very important. So there's a couple of reasons why someone might be in circle four. One might be you literally just met them. And so even though you feel excited about them, they are not your business bestie after one or two
Oh,
conversations.
that's good. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm sure, you've been around the block, so many people, and you're someone I feel that has a lot of discernment. It takes
Hmm.
time for people to reveal themselves, and it
No,
just
for sure.
literally time, months, sometimes even years. It just takes time, right? Multiple
Hmm.
interactions.
And it sounds like even in that in circle four, that might be where they're coming in because I realized quickly, like, oh, this person could be a fit somewhere, but they may move through the other into the other circles, but it may take time. Like, it's interesting what you're sharing here. And my brain keeps going to some of the therapeutic benefits of this. Like, this is a book I want to give to my daughters because I'm also recognizing that in navigating social, I have a 13-year-old navigating social circumstances. At 13, they're so quick to say, that's my bestie, you're circle one, innermost. Like you are my closest,
Mm.
you are my everything. And then their hearts get broken when they discover, because, we're 13, right? I can't believe she said she doesn't like gymnastics anymore. We are not friends. Like it's just, and when it's like learning, you're giving us language that we can actually even use with our kids to say, look, maybe this person is a circle for a friend, and we'll see if they will earn their way up to circle three. And then we'll see if they're in circle two,
Right.
and then over time, no one should be in circle one before even a year, 2 years, or
Oh,
3 years.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, this is so powerful.
Absolutely. Okay, so someone might be in circle four because it's literally early in the relationship. They haven't
Right,
earned full trust and full proximity.
right.
Another reason why someone might be in circle four, this could be someone that you've known for a while, so it's not early. However, there's a little bit of a values misalignment. Maybe you notice every time you talk to them, they're down in the dumps, or they're always criticizing people, putting people
Mhm.
down. Or maybe there's someone that doesn't follow through on their word and commitment, and you just don't know what to expect
Mm.
with them. And so you're not going to exile them from your network. There are good qualities, maybe there's history, but you're like, you know what? I need to keep a little bit of distance with them. That's why
Mhm.
they're in circle four. Another reason might be you're in a place where you're like, to be honest, I'm maxed out. Like I'm maxed out in circle one,
Sure.
two, three. And so I can't really show up as that person for this other person. I don't have the bandwidth to learn about them, to do all the things that a friend or someone in their active network would do. And so because of my capacity, they just have to be in circle four for now, but that could
Mhm.
change. And so, yeah, those are some reasons why someone would be in circle four. And now there's circle five. And so this is disconnected. This is someone that maybe you have known, but on some level they have betrayed you or broken trust. Maybe you
Wow.
try to have those conversations with them and you feel like you keep on having the conversation and nothing changes. Maybe you actually literally feel unsafe in their presence.
Mm.
It's perhaps a toxic or on some level unhealthy relationship. They need to go to circle five. Now, there might also be people that maybe you don't know personally, but other people have said this person is dangerous.
Right, or not a fit at all.
And
Mhm.
it's just like not a fit. Like you don't want to get close to them. You don't want to
Mhm.
be associated with them. I know someone who's, very financially successful and well known, but
Mhm.
she's someone who is litigious. She
Yep.
enjoys suing people and creating drama. And I just don't have space for that.
Yep.
And even though that would not maybe never happen to me, even being in close connection with this person would
Mhm.
make my other people in my network feel uneasy. So I just choose
Mhm.
not to invest in the relationship. I'm kind, I'm friendly. But if
Mhm.
there was a small intimate brunch, a weekend
Mhm.
getaway, I wouldn't
Mhm.
be on that experience with that person.
Mhm.
And then there's circle six. So this is unconnected. So that's basically everyone else in the world who you don't
Right.
yet, or they know of you and you know of them, but you haven't had a conversation.
Mhm.
And so this is really helpful because I remember someone, her name's Sherry Salato, once saying, maintaining a friendship not rooted in your truth keeps you out of integrity.
Ooh, that is so good. And you kind of slid her name in here, but didn't she work with Oprah?
Yeah, she worked with Oprah. She was Oprah's executive producer and the co-president of her network. And I remember her saying, maintaining a friendship not rooted in your truth keeps you out of integrity. And when I looked around me, I was out of integrity, not because I
Mm.
was trying to be, but what happened is one of my weaknesses, one of my relationship patterns is I would let people in too quickly. I was wowed by people like, wow, this person's
Mhm.
so inspiring. They've got an amazing message. They're charismatic. I feel alive in their presence, but I didn't really give myself the time to fully understand who they were. And
That's good.
I let them into my inner circle too quickly. And then over time, I realized, okay, they have these great qualities, but there's these other things where I don't feel safe with them. Or if you have a friend who is out of integrity with the work that they do, maybe I'm just making this up, but let's say they're a relationship coach, and meanwhile, they're
Mhm.
constantly getting into arguments with their husband and creating
Right.
drama in their friendships, then you can't really be that like, full on supporter because it's not even safe for other people to be mentored by this individual. Or, you hire someone and they do really good work and you're like, wow, she's an artistic genius, but then she lashes out at you and it's like,
Mhm.
wow. So I realized that there were different relationships in my life where obviously there were good qualities. Otherwise, I wouldn't
Sure.
let them into my network. But there were other things where it was like, this is not a healthy relationship for me. And I deserve better than this. And so I just share this with people because the circles are a way to manage your energy and your time and to take care of yourself. You
Hmm.
don't have to tell someone, I'm moving you from circle 2 to circle 4,
Right.
but you know that they've
You
moved
know.
before. And that allows you to stay in integrity and manage your energy. It's like, I'm going to be nice and cordial, but this person doesn't get endorsements and recommendations and new
That's
clients from
right.
me anymore. Or, this person, I can have them at the party, but I'm not going to spill my private information because they seem to have a loose mouth. And I just know that
Hmm.
about them. And yeah,
Hmm.
I like them, but they go into circle 4.
This is like so powerful. I gotta tell you, when I was looking at this book, the most powerful thing about it was these circles for me,
Yes.
because I was literally like, is she
Mm.
teaching us boundaries? Come
Yeah.
on, Selena. Like, because yes, people hear rich relationships, and honestly, your brain starts thinking, how can I network? How can I navigate? Like, how can I use things to my advantage? But no, it actually starts with cleaning up what's in front of you. And that is work that you do before you even get out there. I was able to right away say, I would love to network more, but what would that look like? Where do I find the space? And once I realized, look, let me just create my circles with what I have right now, it allowed me to free up so much time, because I was able to say, look, some of these people are all circle 4 right now, and that's okay. And I don't have to tell them they're circle 4, because I'm already doing circle 4 behavior towards them, and that is okay. And it's not personal, it's not a negative thing, and they can always shift up, they can shift down, but it's appropriate, and there's like a name for this. Like, it's flipping brilliant, Selena. Like, I'm like,
Oh,
and I'm telling you, it's a powerful tool. That's one thing that's great about this book is, we were talking, before we even hopped on here, about how, in this economy, and as businesses are dynamic and growing and having to change their approach because social media is changing as well,
yeah.
relationships are such a stable place to go for business relationships, for contacts. As a new mom, I'm like, what private school do I send my kid to? How do I do babysitting things? Relationships are my go-to for everything. I am so impressed with how you are talking about how to navigate this, or it's like a roadmap. Now, this is a roadmap you found that you've used yourself, right? Like,
Yes.
do you find that this transcends in places in your life outside of business, to find where to live, and who to date and what to wear,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
absolutely. I feel like with every problem we have in life, it can be solved through a rich relationship. There's someone that has the
Wow.
answer, someone that can make the connection, and every goal and dream, it can be achieved through a rich relationship. So when you're feeling stuck, it's not what do I do? It's what's the rich relationship I need to lean on right now. A lot of people, the other thing, Nicole, is that people are like, I've built a network. I know people. I go to events. I've met people at college and in these different communities and church, whatever it is. But it's not enough to build a network. You have to also nurture the network, and then you have to also
Mm.
activate the network. And so sometimes people are resentful. They're like, oh, I give so much to others, but people don't support me. It's like, well, have you taken the steps to activate your network? Have you asked them? Did you nurture the relationship
So
and show up
good.
as a rich giver so that it's actually even appropriate for you to make the ask? Because you
Mhm.
can't just know someone and not talk to them for 3 years and then show up for and ask them for a humongous favor. That doesn't work either.
It's so good. I think we've all been on the other side of that and been like, yeah, right. Super uncomfortable. No, this is so powerful. I have to tell everyone right now, like, honestly, if you haven't already checked this book out because you're listening to the conversation, add it to your cart, hit that checkout button. Like, you need this book. It has so many different areas that are going to be powerful for you. You are hearing the power of relationships. It's not just about collecting people, it's about collecting them, categorizing them, nurturing them, leveraging them, and you're going to grow yourself the entire time. Now, I want people to start reading this now if they can.
Yes.
Is there
Yeah.
any way, because honestly, we don't have time to waste, right? Any
No.
way they can get started? Like, do we have anything for them? Can we give them a couple pages?
Yes, yes, we do. So I have something special for everyone listening. So if you go to Rich Relationships, so that's plural, richrelationshipsbook.com/Nicole, you can get the first four chapters for free
Yes.
right away before everyone else. Also, when people read the book, one of their favorite things is the scripts, because in building relationships and reaching out to new people, in setting boundaries and making asks, you need to know the right language to use. And when you have the right words, everything is possible. So
Hmm.
throughout the book, I have all these different rich relationship scripts that have helped me create these relationships and literally make millions and expand my network and my life and my business. And so I bundle them all together in one place so that when they go to richrelationshipsbook.com/Nicole, they get the first four chapters, they get the rich relationship scripts. And to celebrate the book launching, if you sign up, I'm also going to enter you to win $1,000. We're announcing that on May 30th. So
Wow.
every reason to go ahead and get signed up.
That is so powerful, so huge. Y'all, that is your homework assignment for me. Okay. If you are not out here utilizing at least one of those scripts to go get what you want and to build a richer life in every way, shape, and form, then you are in big trouble with me. I will hunt you down, sister. Okay. This is too easy. Selena, thank you so much, not just for being here and chatting with us today, but for sharing everything you have learned over the past decade plus and applied so successfully and put it in one place for us to be able to grow to. Thank you so much for this.
Absolutely. And one big idea I want to make sure that people come away with is that one rich relationship is more powerful than 100 casual connections. So I'm not telling you to run around and go to every event and get on all the planes and just run yourself ragged. I'm saying that there's certain relationships where there is this energy of abundance. There's this win-win energy where there's a values alignment. And it's really identifying what those rich relationships are for you and knowing how to pour into them in a way where it doesn't feel draining. It feels exciting and energizing. And so in the book, I teach you how to identify the right rich relationships for you and simple ways that don't take a lot of time to nurture and cultivate the relationships where people feel so taken care of from you. And they also feel really inspired and desire to support you as well.
Oh, that's so good. So, so good, y'all. All the gems. This is just a sample. Go get the book. Thank you, Selena, for your time, for your effort, and your gifts.